Ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey! Welcome to the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded. I am your host, Eric. My main man right over there, Ron. How are you tonight?
I feel rushed.
Just a little bit. Yeah, a little, little.
Had some massive technical
delay here.
difficulties just before.
I will say this, Ron. I mean, luckily, Sports Unfolded continues to go on, even with all the IT issues in the world today, where it's stopping planes and everything else that's going on. Sports Unfolded continues to go.
That's right. We're better than the post office.
Yeah, more reliable. Rain, sleet, snow. We're there. Sports Unfolded.
But do you know we since we went on the air back, 3.5 years ago, we have not missed a week.
It's insane to think about. Every Friday night, live, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting. Also, every Saturday between 1 and 3 on WDJY 99.1 in Dallas, Georgia.
Did well.
Public access as well in Southeast Connecticut. Public access channel 12 every Tuesday night. So we are everywhere and anywhere. So check us out. We talk about all of the top sports stories going on in the world today. And then we also are live. So fan interactive. If you are joining us and want to chime in at any point in the show, let us know what you want to talk about. As long as it's not politics or religion, we'll be more than happy to do that with you as well. Kenny, one of our most loyal fans, thank you for joining us. We appreciate that. Lot going on today. Ron, lot to talk about. Excited about today's show, man. I listen, little hiccup at the beginning. It's all right. We're going to get through this, and we're going to have a blast. We're going to have a blast.
Once that goes live, it doesn't matter.
That's it, baby. That's what we do. That's what we do. So let's talk about this leadoff story. So Caitlin Clark has decided not to participate in the WNBA three-point contest. Do you think this hurts the league, Ron? Is this a bad move for Caitlin Clark and even Sabrina Ionescu, who also has declined to participate?
Yeah, I don't know why. To be honest with you, I think it's dumb. It's not like with the home run derby, I understand because you taking that many swing, it throws you off for at least a month coming out of the All-Star game. I get that. This is just a practice. Basically, it's what you do all the time. This has no effect on your game for the rest of the way, and there is really, I've been one that's been Caitlin Clark on her side through all of the adversity.
Yep.
But this time, no. You should have been in this and doing it like this is the WNBA's chance, right? To show
exactly. Right? This was their opportunity, Ron. And I'm glad we see this eye to eye, which is very rare. This has never happened.
Yeah, it is.
But
and not only that, Eric, look, what do you think her sponsors are saying now? Wow, we could have had her in there. And
I think, Ron, though, you said it when you said it was an opportunity for the league to get exposure.
Oh my
and
God.
She's been criticized by all these other players, right? Because of what she's been able to get paid ahead of time and all that hype.
Right.
Here was a chance for you to make this understood for the league that people were going to watch this and gravitate towards it, which would have ultimately shown that you're supporting the league and not yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's where now these players still have an issue with her because what's going to end up happening is you're only thinking about you.
Well, now that I said my part of that, let me give you the conspiracy theory kind of thing.
Oh, boy.
What if the league pressured her not to participate so it gives other players a chance to showcase?
Ionescu, though, is another big star for them, so I would be surprised that you would want both of them not in this.
Right.
And
so,
then again,
that is a possibility.
And you think about what Ionescu did. She played against Steph Curry less than a year ago, right, in a 3-point contest, right? So that was to try to get more exposure to the league and get this is a better opportunity. Like
Yeah.
this is even bigger for your sport right now and your league.
Yep.
They just
And-
signed a new collective bargaining agreement with the television. It's like 200 million a year, and they were complaining about the amount of money. This was your chance.
They just got it, and this is what you do to it.
Exactly. This was your
You
chance.
basically just crapped all over that.
You could have literally gotten more money because you would have seen how much people wanted to see this, wanted to see that matchup, wanted to see some of these big stars. It's
Yep.
like it's like the NBA with the slam dunk contest. I
Yes.
agree with you, Ron. It's a joke, but a lot of it's because you also have people that nobody even knows of, that aren't starters, that aren't the face of a league. You don't even know these kids half the time.
Right.
I'm going to tell the participants in the award in this event: Stephanie Dolson from the Washington Mystic,
Sure.
Isha Gray from the Dream, Jacquel Jones from the Liberty, who's a big center. So
Yeah, whatever.
Marina Mabre of the Sun and Kayla McBride of the Lynx.
Yeah.
If
And you know what all that means?
absolutely nothing now. Yeah, exactly. And this is where I say Caitlin Clark had her opportunity to get the players on her side. If
Yeah.
and she said she needs rest, and I get you're not playing in the Olympics. So why not just do this? You're going to do the All-Star game, and then you're going to get rest anyway. I think the next games are in the middle of August. How much rest do you need? A 3-point contest?
Yeah.
Bad look for her. Bad look for the league. And this was
Yeah, and like I said, it's just basically it's just a practice. Because how often do you go to the court before, like when people are getting ready to start practice for the teams and stuff? You go there and you're just shooting. It's the same damn thing. It's the same damn thing. And it's despicable. It's really it really is. It's a letdown for all the fans. It truly
massive.
is.
Massive. Because again, you look at it and say this was the opportunity where they were going to take that next step. This was it. And again, you may not get this opportunity again next year because again, if you start to look at it, if Caitlin Clark doesn't perform in get to the postseason and things, does her name start to not have the same clout? Do people still continue to go out in droves to want to see them play? This would have gotten even more eyes on you to say, wow, I don't normally watch a 3-point contest. I'm definitely watching. Now you're hooking more people.
You know when the last time I watched a 3-point contest was?
Larry Bird.
Larry
Greg Hodges.
Bird. Larry
It
Bird.
doesn't happen too often, man. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of these, we talked about that, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, which I didn't watch. I know you didn't watch. A lot of these things really have no bearing or meaning to the real sports fan anymore. And here was a shot for us. I would have watched it. I would have wanted to have seen Caitlin Clark versus an SQ in a 3-point contest. I would have been glued in.
Yep.
And
Now
especially if
there's
they
no
got to the
reason.
finals.
There's no reason to watch it. There really isn't.
And I'm not saying the participants aren't worthy. Good for you. It's great. But it's, again, now it just becomes more of a festivity type thing, not something I'm interested in seeing.
It's not anything because literally there really isn't anybody interesting in it. Like there's no stars of the league in that. Like what do I want to see that for? There isn't anybody that is up for MVP or, going to be first team all-star. There's none of that. There's none of that. There is nobody notable in there. I mean, all of the participants, this is the first time we've ever mentioned their names. Ever. Ever. Not even on the show, off the show.
I'm just surprised. I think I'm more shocked than anything else that her understanding what she means to this league right now.
To
me, this seems selfish.
times.
And I'm not, but this seems selfish to me. This seems like something that players now will sit back, and when they criticize you for only thinking about yourself or looking at the big picture of my sponsors, what I'm making for money, and not looking out for the others in the league.
Yeah.
This was a prime example of that. And I think this hurt her reputation, maybe not with fans, but but with players.
You know, look, Eric, this is a league that needed to get as much views on their game as possible.
Yeah, right. That
And
way.
they did that with Caitlin Clark coming into the league. And then the league, what do they do? They turn around and don't really protect the one player that is your image right now. And now they don't even have her in the contest that you absolutely needed to have her in just for the pure publicity of the game. You know, they could have moved up several notches on that sports meter.
Yeah.
Like they could have put themselves in top 6.
Ron, I literally just watched a TikTok earlier today of Caitlin Clark's trying to shoot a half-court shot and Angel Reese trying to shoot a half-court shot, and Angel Reese made it. But think about it. People are so involved in what Caitlin Clark's doing that had to be on a TikTok. Like people wanted to say, hey, look at them shooting practice half-court shots. It's not even you don't see that in the NBA. We don't watch guys, practice in half-court shots. They don't show it.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see this. And then you had an opportunity to have millions of people literally watch it, and you decide not to do it. Such a bad look for her. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I agree with you, Kenny. I think that's a perfect way to think about it. They were riding a wave right now.
Oh,
if you're on a right, you're surfing and you're riding the peak, right? Yep. It's coming back down now. And I think that this is something that honestly could affect them for years.
There's also a shark right on that water, too.
Oh, boy.
Just waiting.
What's it? Salabrini? He's waiting. He's over from the San Jose Sharks. Oh, my goodness. What a first opening leadoff story. Let us know if you're live. What you think. What do you think? Is Caitlin Clark right for not participating in the 3-point contest?
Let us know what you think. Look, Eric, I got a bunch of these Sports Unfolded pins.
Ooh.
Right? I got 20 pins. If we can get several people to comment, if we can get 10 people to comment, I will send a pin to 10 people.
10 people. Let us know. Is Caitlin Clark right by not participating in the 3-point contest?
We get 10 people to comment. I will send a pin to each and every one of you. And it doesn't matter if it's, post live. If I get 10 people that comment on that topic, boom.
All right. Let's see if we can get people to comment on the next topic as well, Ron. We're going to talk some NFL. And we're going to talk those New England Patriots.
Too.
So Brandon Ayuk has requested a trade from the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of rumors that the New England Patriots are very interested in this scenario of him coming to New England.
They got the most money.
Should they be in on him?
I would say so. I think you got to be, right? I mean, he's a good receiver. You got to be in on him. Because if you're in on him, then there's hope, right? Because there's no hope without him. Because if you don't have a number one receiver, you don't really have anything. And I like that there's rumors that they're
Yeah, supposedly the New England called, San Francisco hung up the phone or said they're not interested. I will say this: if I'm New England right now, I'm going all in on this. I'm giving them a first-round draft pick. And as crazy as people sound, like possibly a very high draft pick in the draft next season. But I'm looking at it this way. If you're going to groom Drake May to be your next quarterback, can you finally give him a legitimate wide receiver? So last year's receiving core, Ron, Demario Douglas was your leading receiver with 49 receptions. Also 561 yards was the most yardage by a wide receiver.
Pitiful.
Hunter Henry, 42 catches. Kendrick Bourne, 37. Juju Smith-Schuster, 29 catches. Brandon Ayuk, 75. Over 1,300 yards.
Yeah.
You got a guy that even if people say, look, it was because of the system, legitimately he can catch the football. Legitimately he is going to make Drake May better. In New England, you say, hold on to a first-round draft pick to get what? A guy you don't even know next season versus a guy that's played in the league and has been
Yeah,
successful.
And what's the chances of them hitting on a receiver that's going to be as good?
It hasn't happened in how many years?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And this is where I get upset about people who said Bill Belichick had to go. Because Bill Belichick, most people are right, probably wouldn't pull the trigger. You know who's not pulling the trigger either, though, right now? Gerard Mayo and all those group up in New England.
Yeah.
So you're doing the same thing.
Look, I don't question so much the fact that they got rid of Bill Belichick. I question what they replaced him with.
But how many times did people say Bill Belichick wouldn't grab talent, didn't build talent, didn't get offensive talent? Here's your chance.
Yeah.
Change the narrative.
Change
the narrative. This should have been, here's a first-round draft pick this year, maybe a second round next year. I don't care. Get a guy in here that you know can produce.
Yeah.
And then you give Drake May an opportunity to say, hey, look, this is a legitimate NFL wide receiver. Like Kendrick Bourne, I think he's a very good player. He's a number 3. Demario Douglas, very nice play. He's a slot receiver.
Yeah.
You need a legitimate wide receiver that when times are tough, that's my guy.
If Ayuk comes in, you just made Kendrick Bourne and Douglas better because now they're going to be in that 2 and 3 slot, and now they can handle the defense. I mean, how is this bad?
I don't even understand. Like, as soon as I heard New England was a possibility, I think it's us in Washington. If the Commanders get him, I think we boycott next season because it is not looking like anything's changed in New England. There's some other
teams that could get him, and you're like that have space. Detroit Lions have space.
That'd be insane,
right? Green Bay Packers have space.
Oof.
I mean, they might go out and get him to try to improve their chances because they made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, no.
Here's an interesting one, which I kind of think it could possibly happen. Jacksonville. They have space for him.
Imagine Mac Jones gets him down there in Jacksonville. And I know he's not starting, but then Mac Jones looks good again. And we're like, what the hell happened?
Injury happens. He comes in and he starts the season.
And Brandon Ayuk and him are just going crazy.
I'd probably cry.
Kenny's joining the picket line with us because I'm telling you, you're right.
Probably cry.
It's getting to a point where I want to see New England change the narrative.
I'll throw another team out there too that has space. Philadelphia Eagles. They have space.
I don't know how New England does it. New England has the most to offer.
Yeah.
Realistically, that number 1 pick is going to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah, realistically.
Even with Ayuk. But at least now you start to have a building block where you say Drake May, Brandon Ayuk for the next 5 years are going to have a solid career together. It makes sense. I don't know, Ron. If this doesn't happen and he goes somewhere else, let me ask you this question before we move on. Do you think he gets traded, though? Because San Francisco does seem to not want to move on from him.
Well, oddly enough, San Francisco has room on their cap, too, for him. I think they're in the, it's on my other laptop. I believe they have like 20 to 24 million.
I think the problem is that they have too many contracts where like with Debo and Bosa, they can't afford to really start to Kittle. You know.
But they could work out a trade, get a receiver that shows some promise. Like if you send them to New England, you can get that first round pick and maybe even a second the following year. And Douglas say for him.
So again, I know I said last question. I'm going to ask you another question though. Would you trade a first round draft pick for Brandon Ayuk?
I absolutely would because I'm not so sure they're going to get anybody of value as good as him.
And does this not give?
You don't know who's going to be there.
Does this not give, at least for a New England fan, the opportunity to say, is Drake May for real? Because right now,
Right.
if I was to put him out there, I'm going, who's he throwing to anyway? Like, I don't feel confident enough the kid can perform well based on what he has for talent around him.
No. Look, I basically feel the same about him as I felt about Mac Jones. I mean, he's not a difference maker. You know a difference maker when you see it. He's not a difference maker. But Ayuk could improve that and make him at least a player to consider, right? And it gives you a legitimate receiver that is going to be able to produce for you. You're not knowing if you're going to get that. All these draft picks, who knows what they're going to be? It's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot throughout the whole league. It doesn't matter. Like, we've seen it. We've seen, DeMarcus Russell go number one. What did he amount to? Nothing, right? We've seen so many players like that going 1, 2, 3, 4, and they amount to nothing. We saw that in that draft class with Mac Jones.
How many of those?
A lot of those are
right?
nothing. So, I mean, you never know. So if you're getting a commodity that is worthy of a first-round pick himself, then why aren't you doing it? I'd rather have the great player than the great pick.
Something you've seen perform at this level. Because you could have a wide receiver look great in college, but he's also playing against college defensive backs.
Yeah.
This guy has proven he can be NFL talent.
It's like when we did the draft party when Micah Parsons came out. We both knew that was a sure thing.
Yeah, 100%.
And we raved about him that whole draft. It's like, oh my God. Even after it happened, like,
remember, he went 11th, and we were so close. He went 11th. We were so close. We're like, oh, he may fall to New England at 15.
Right.
And we didn't want the quarterback at that point. If he was on the board, he's the sure lock.
He's a difference maker.
This is a sure lock that and I don't mean Holmes, that you could guarantee that he is going to be able. You like what I did there?
I did like that one.
That he is going to be a productive wide receiver for you in your offense, regardless.
Yeah.
It has to happen. In New England, anybody out there that knows somebody from New England, you better tell them this has to happen.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm being a homer, but this team needs some upgrades. It
evident.
Does. It's evident.
Like, we don't have Edelman out there. We don't have Gronk out there. So, you can't expect, this offense to improve from last year if you have none of that. You don't have Tom Brady at quarterback.
Yeah.
You don't even have, a line at all.
All right, my friend. A couple ways you could support the show. Patreon at RI Broadcasting. Check them out. A lot of different ways to purchase some of these Sports Unfolded merchandising. You can follow us on Facebook at RI Broadcasting, at Sports Unfolded as well. So many different ways to follow us on all our social media platforms. Check us out. We are everywhere, and we continue to grow. So help us out and help continue to support the show as well. Yeah, not walking through that door. Yeah, Larry Bird, right? Kevin McHale, Driver Parrish, Tom Brady, Gronk, and Edelman are not walking through that door. So they need to make something happen. All right, my friend, we are going to move on.
Why is it always we have to talk about these players that never walking through the door? And the sad part is you have the money that it could happen, but you just don't let it happen.
And think about, I love this, what Kenny just said. You think about the Boston Celtics. They waited how many years before they got lucky in the draft? They got a Tatum, they got a Brown, right? All of a sudden those guys but then look what they did this year. They picked up players that they knew were going to ultimately help them get to a finals and win it. Right? The Drew Holidays, the Kristaps Porzingis. The Patriots need to look at what the Boston Celtics did and said, we need to start to get players that are honestly going to make sure that we start to become contenders again. Because right now you don't have that.
I thank the Celtics for doing that. I thank them for winning the championship and how they did it.
And we're going to talk about it later, but
Because-
it's probably going to benefit the Red Sox as well.
Well, it benefited the Brewers. The Brewers went out and got some players, right? They went and they got the needs, and now I'm pretty confident in their chances next season. Pretty confident.
Ron has the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame next nominees for our inductees to our Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. We are currently having the poll up on Sports Unfolded Sports poll page. So check that out if you'd like to vote for these athletes. Ron, have at it.
Olga Korbut, Larissa Latinina, Svetlana Korkina, Shannon Miller, and Nadia Comaneci.
All phenomenal gymnasts, obviously with the Olympics right around the corner, right? Great time to nominate a Olympic gymnast into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. That poll will continue until the first week of August. So you still have time. Vote. Check out Sports Unfolded Sports poll page for all the details on how you can vote for one of those particular athletes. Ron, it is time for starting five. I'm a little upset about this one because James, who's another very loyal listener to our show, isn't even here today, and he's the one that gave us this one. So we are going to give you our starting five from athletes who are from Georgia. So this was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Like 4.5 hours.
Ridiculous.
To do this?
So many different athletes that came out of Georgia. You think, I mean, so many. So these were athletes from Georgia. We have to rank, not even rank, give you our starting five, and we got to pick them. I don't even know where to go with this. I'm so speechless. I am going to start us off with our honorable mentions, Ron. For me, I had Ray Guy. I'm giving a punter some love because I know you wouldn't, and I wanted to make sure. He was
really good, though.
Ray Guy, 3-time All-Pro, 3-time champion, one of the best punters.
I killed to have him in New England last year.
That's my guy. I wanted to make sure. Also, Johnny Mize.
That is your guy.
My guy. Johnny Mize, great baseball player, batted .312 lifetime, 5-time champion. One of my honorable mentions. Bobby Jones, phenomenal golfer, 13 majors.
Yeah, I didn't
my
have
honorable mention. Bill Elliott, 44 wins, 320 top tens, honorable mention.
He's my 8th honorable mention.
Bill Terry, talk about a batting average, 341 lifetime, one-time champion. And then Gwen Torrance, she won 7 gold, 5 silver, and 2 bronze in international.
I get her as my number 3.
Yeah, three gold medals
honorable
in the Olympics.
Mention.
3 golds. Anybody I missed from your?
Oh my God, there was so many great players.
Yeah, I had to. I couldn't. I almost had 10 honorable mentions, and I had to pull it back.
Yeah, I do. I had Bill Elliott and Gwen Torrance. I also had Fran Tarkenton on my honorable mention. He is actually 5B.
You know why I didn't put him? Because we had him before, and you said something about 15 games over 500. I kind of like,
Yeah.
Great number. I mean, he's done
his numbers were good enough to be mentioned.
Okay. Honorable mention. That's good.
Teresa Edwards, the Olympian. I believe it was 4 golds and a bronze that she had with the basketball team. Calvin Johnson, I put on there, 11,000 yards. So I wanted to at least mention him. And he was on a very bad team. Kevin Brown.
Yep.
He had some great numbers.
Yeah, that was 3 years where he led the league in ERA.
Yeah.
Then he came to New York.
Shannon Sharp was also a guy that I felt needed some love. Mel Blount, NFL, just though he had 5 Pro Bowls and 4 Super Bowls. Couldn't get my top 5. Richard Dent. I had to put the big guy, right? The big guys need some love.
Yeah.
And he had to be in there. And Spud Chandler, also an honorable mention. And I
All
just
right.
want to let you know before we
Go
go
ahead.
to the top 5,
Yes, sir.
there was only 3 NHL players that were born in Georgia.
Wow, that's
3
crazy.
in
That's
history.
crazy. That's crazy.
Eric Chouinard, who finished with 22 career points.
Hey.
Mark Mowers, who finished with 62 career points.
Hey. All right.
And Jean-Marc Pelletier, goaltender, went 1-4 in 7 appearances.
So if you like hockey, you're not from Georgia.
You're not
Basically, what
from
happens?
Georgia.
Yeah, that's not a. They're not breeding any hockey players out in Georgia.
I
yet.
had to do it. I had to do it because it
I
was
love
so
that.
funny.
That's pretty
I had
funny.
to say it.
That is really good. All right, so let's start off our starting 5. At number 5, I had Theodore Flowers.
That's a good one.
115, 13, and 6.
First black
55
middleweight
KOs.
champion.
Yes, 1926. Died at the age of 32, Ron. Had some surgery for some scar tissue around the eye and ended up complicating.
Yeah,
had
that's a good
complications
one.
and passed away.
I was trying to figure out if I could put him in.
I love that
so
record.
many.
You think about it. 32 years old. He had 115 and 13.
I know.
120, what?
It was
134
like that
fights.
guy, 24, that had
Yeah,
like
yeah.
170
Ridiculous.
fights.
So I went Theodore Flowers as my
Fight
number
every
5.
week.
Your
number 5, I have Dwight Howard. And I almost forgot about him.
I didn't even know he was from Georgia. I must. I didn't
Yes!
find him on my
I
list.
saw a list and I'm like, oh, this can't be everybody, right? And I kept searching and found another list. Dwight Howard. His numbers are spectacular, of course. As soon as I find them. 15.7 points, 11.8 boards, and 1.3 assists. He had 8 All-Stars, 8 All-NBA, 1 championship to go with that. So he deserved to be up there with a win, a big win. 5-time All-Defense, 5-time rebounds champ, 2-time block champs, 3 defensive players of the year. I mean, he played in 1,200 plus games too. Yeah, so he was durable, and he still could have played this year.
Good one. Good one. All right. At 4, I had Lois Suggs. 61 wins, 11 majors.
Is it Louise or Lois?
Lois.
Louise, I think.
Is it Louise? Louise
yes,
Suggs.
because it's an ISE.
Yeah, okay. Louise Suggs, founder of the LPGA as well. I thought that was not much worthy of being on my starting 5 because she basically created an entire league.
Yeah.
So, and 11 majors to go along with it. So I thought that was pretty.
And you know what?
Cool.
That's why I had her at number 4.
Let's go.
Let's go is right. I mean, 61 wins on the tour.
Yeah.
Those are crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at Bobby Jones. He had 13 majors, but he didn't have that many wins.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. So great one. All right. At 3, I had Walt Frazier. 18.9 points, 5.9 rebounds, 6.1 assists, a 7-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA, 7 All-Defensive, and a 2-time champion, Walt Frazier.
And that's why I had him at number 3.
Let's go. I know our number 2
This guy was great. 18.9 points, right? And then you talk about, all the offense. He's so great. That man won 7 All-Defensive.
Yeah. He's known for his offense.
So he did it on the whole court.
Yeah.
The whole court.
Yeah. No, definitely.
And won 2 championships.
That's funny.
Come on. Yeah. Come on.
So at 2, for me, I kept moving guys in, out, back, forth, put them in, then took them out. I took him out a couple times, put him back in. Mel Blount. I know you had him on his 57 interceptions lifetime, 5 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year, and the 4 championships. He was, as much as we talked about Joe Green, the steel curtain, that defense, he was such a big part of the back end of that defense. So that's why I put him
number
in
2 on the honorable mention, but he was one that was up and down in there.
Yeah, he kept flying all around.
But I had Johnny Mize at number 2.
Phenomenal numbers.
I mean, when you look at 10 All-Stars and 5 World Series, you look, okay, Yeah, but he might have been riding the coattails of other players, right? No, because the guy hit 359 home runs to go along with that 312 batting average. I mean, he produced.
Yeah, no, for sure.
He produced. I'm getting all excited over this list because
That's it.
there's
Getting
so
all
many
choked
great
up.
athletes.
So choked up. So many great athletes from Georgia. I'm glad we're in Georgia on the radio now, Ron.
Yes, and
We need to know what they think afterwards of this starting five. Are there someone or
look,
athletes
we know
we
we
missed?
get like 2,300 listeners every episode and growing. When we first started, it was only 1,700, and a couple months later, we're at 2,300. Now, thank you, Atlanta, for supporting.
So let us know who your starting five athletes are
Yes.
from Georgia as well. We'd love to hear it. So we're at to our number one, Ron. We're at number one. I think this is pretty evident. Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
366 batting average lifetime.
Look,
unreal.
I mean, you look at those hits.
4,189 hits.
And I'll tell you, he's not the career hits leader.
No, the guy that is in the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame, by the way.
That's right.
That's Pete Rose.
And when you look at the amount of at-bats that he did, 4,000.
Right? 11,000.
I mean, it's insane.
It's insane. 12 batting titles, a triple crown, and an MVP. Even though he didn't win a championship.
As long as Pete Rose, he would have like 10,000 hits, I swear.
Yeah. And I think, too, also, they didn't have a lot of the accolades they do now. So,
right.
All-Stars, all that stuff.
There was no such thing as an All-Star game.
So, he would have honestly probably been a 20-time All-Star.
Got a triple crown, I mean.
Great player.
And that's why it was so hard when I looked at Frank Thomas's numbers and I'm like, why am I not putting him in my top five?
Right.
He won 2 MVPs.
Yeah.
But there was just so many great athletes.
I will say this. You made a point. Hockey players, not so hot in Georgia.
No.
Baseball, forget it. Some of the best hitters ever.
There were so many.
Some of the best hitters ever. Yeah, some of the best hitters ever. Like, they really are. Kind of crazy.
Just so we know, there was Roger Kingdom, 2 golds. Wyoming Tyus, 3 golds and a silver. I mean, there was some great athletes.
I will say this: Herschel Walker is from Georgia, played in Georgia. I really almost put him on my list, but I didn't want to go with the college numbers because his pro numbers weren't very good. But think about this: 3-time All-American, 3-time SEC Player of the Year, and he won a Heisman. Over 5,000 yards in 3 seasons, Ron.
Yeah, let's go Georgia.
So what a great list. James, thank you for that.
This was very difficult to do because there were so many. But I'll tell you, reading it all, it's exciting.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So again, WDJY 99.1 FM. If you are listening, let us know. Join the show. Let us know who your starting 5 Georgia athletes. They had to be born in Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many great ones. It was amazing. Let us know if you agree. Is Ty Cobb number 1?
And who would be better at it than actual people that live in Georgia?
Yeah, I'm sure they know the history better than we do.
That's right.
All right, Ron, let's talk some NBA, my friend. Russell Westbrook heading to the Denver Nuggets. Do you think he's still a valuable piece for a team?
That's a tough one. Because
I tried to find a picture without him yelling, by the way. I couldn't find a single picture without him screaming.
Yeah.
Every one of them was him screaming. I don't know why, but go ahead.
Is he saying, give me the ball?
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's what it is.
And
he hasn't had the ball to understand.
That's the problem. Look, I think he can help, but he has to have an ego check. He has to have an ego check. Look, that ball has to go through Joker. It has to go through Joker. So you can bring up the ball. Once you cross that half-court line, give it to him.
See, I think this is the best scenario for him. So I look at it this way,
Ron. Right?
The last 5 seasons, his scoring average has gone down each year. He averaged a career low 11.1 points per game last season with the Clippers. I feel like this is a perfect fit where we're going to tell you you're with the second unit. You're going to have the ball because that first unit, Jokic, Murray, Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, you're not touching the rock. They're going to use him off the bench to say facilitate and be Russell Westbrook of old then because they don't need him to start. This gives Russ the best chance to win a championship because
And
honestly,
he's good with that team.
Yeah, he's coming off the bench, Kenny. I agree. I think he can build that bench up. He'll be their legitimate superstar. Listen, we know the Denver Nuggets didn't win the championship back to back. This gives them another shot, I think, in the West to be that number one seed and possibly get back to the NBA Finals. I like the move.
That gives you a guy off the bench that is legit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I mean, he can run the offense, even his way, but he can't do it if he's on the court with all those guys. He can't do it because he's not the guy.
Yeah,
he's not that guy anymore.
And I think, listen, he went from like 27 points per game to down to 11. That's a big drop. That's not like more opportunities with Clippers because they have better players. That's a legitimate drop in talent. And I think he needs to realize, like right now, if I want to win a championship before my career is over, this gives me the best opportunity. Let me come off the bench. I'll play with the kids, try to make sure that they're better. I could get triple doubles every night before.
Again, Eric, like we talk about Westbrook and Harden all the time about this. They're never going to win a championship unless they take an ego hit. They haven't
These
done
guys
it
haven't been able to do. Yeah, they haven't been able to do. And I think that's a lot of the problem with that.
And when you're going to Denver and you have that team that's on the floor as starters, you have to be humbled and you have to accept that. And you have to be a role player.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it, they're not going to go anywhere because, their bench will be bad because he's going to take control. And if he doesn't check himself and check his game, it's going to be the same results.
Chickadee checks himself before he wrecks himself. That's like it. Right. Listen,
great song.
He was a phenomenal player at one point.
Yeah.
And I think now you see the back end of his career. If you, to your point, Ron, if he mentally can understand that he is not that guy anymore, he has a chance to win a championship.
Right.
It's really going to be on him.
Skill-wise, that to me puts Denver back in the championship game. Skill-wise.
I think I think they're better than Dallas.
Yeah.
With this addition.
I mean, that makes their bench better, right?
Yeah.
So that bench is better than Dallas's bench.
We'll see. We will see. Russell Westbrook to the Denver Nuggets. Do you like the move? Let us know. Again, if you're joining us live, check it out on the chat, and we'll gladly talk some more NBA basketball. We are going to move on, though, Ron, to Major League Baseball. Trade deadline around the corner. Which American League East team must make a trade before the deadline if they have any shot of possibly winning?
I'm going to make this pretty simple. They all do.
Ooh.
And some of them, obviously, for
sellers.
Different
sellers.
Yeah. And that is going to be Toronto and Tampa Bay. They're going to sell, and it's up to the other three. Oh, and unfortunately, the Yankees don't really show up on the black background there. That's terrible.
Maybe bring up this picture. You show up there.
There we go.
Look at that.
So you got two sellers, and unfortunately, see, like Toronto, they squandered the most talent in the past 2-3 years.
It's amazing how those guys were like, and then they just fell. Biggio and some of those.
I mean, they had the pitching, they had the hitting, and they did not have the right guys together, apparently. I don't know. There was a lot of talent there, and they can get a lot of prospects with some of the players they got there.
Yeah.
A lot. And they could be selling that pitching off because they have some good pitchers, and they could basically rake in.
Guerrero's probably on the table.
I think they all might think about. I don't think they're going to leave anybody off the table.
So I see where you're coming from, because I was going to say the same thing. Like those, there are some sellers. I will say this: New York has to be the number one priority, because I think, honestly, Mason Miller, the relief pitcher from Oakland, Baltimore is also rumored to be there. If you allow Baltimore to get him, especially with the way your bullpen's been performing lately, has been the problem. You're pretty much giving the division to Baltimore. So New York has to make that move. Also, Tanner Scott from the Marlins, another good pitcher. They need to upgrade the pitching. Boston, honestly, nobody expected Boston to be where they're at now.
No.
If Boston sits packed, honestly, regardless of where they finish, they had probably the best opportunity this season to make some noise in the postseason, because they're already currently in the wild card.
Yeah.
So why would you not want to pick up another bat, possibly another pitcher? Like, to me, Boston has to make some moves.
I think you have to. I think these three teams all have to get a deal, because none of them will win the World Series as is. None of them. Because LA, Philadelphia, Atlanta, whoever comes out over there is going to be stacked. You know, even Atlanta, even after losing Acuna.
Yeah, look at Atlanta, man.
They're still stacked.
Right? Phillies, the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, all these teams are playing very well.
You have to go out. All three of these teams have to go out and get a starting pitcher, a reliever, and maybe a bat.
Yeah.
You have to. In order to compete with the National League, you have to.
I don't think New York needs a bat. I think Baltimore.
Well, no, that would be the team that doesn't need
Baltimore doesn't probably need a bat, but it would help. Boston definitely needs a bat. New York needs pitching. Yeah. But to your point, all three of these teams are legitimate contenders. And I can't believe we're saying this late in the season with Boston. I am very impressed with what they've done. Even as a Yankee fan, I am shocked at how well they've continued to play.
Now we just hope that, that team in the red garment is doing it legitimately with their manager.
He's out too, Cora. You could lose Cora at the end of this.
Can we trade him?
Yeah. I don't know.
Can we do that with managers?
You probably could. I don't think he'd sign with anybody. Let you guys sign him at that point, because he knows he'd help the team. I don't know. Be interesting.
It's exciting that, the Red Sox put themselves in this position. It's
nice having these teams back.
They can stay there.
Right. They're back in contention. It's nice to see this. The Baltimore's, New York, Boston, that rivalry really coming back.
Imagine all that money that is wasted on the injured list for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Hey. Ah, my goodness. All right, Ron. Let us know what you think. Who should be making the trades? What do they need? Chime in again on the chat, or let us know afterwards if you're watching. Just comment. Let us know what you think. And check out Sports Unfolded, the Major League Baseball rankings. What a weird week this was.
Oh, and okay, yeah.
What a weird week this was. I was just like, holy cow. Our man, the Mickey Finn report each week now. He'll let you know why he did what he did. A lot of craziness. It was kind of crazy to see the teams that were in there still. So check that out on Sports Unfolded as well. Ron, it is time for Split Decision.
It's time.
Split Decision segment. Basically, we ask each other two more likely scenarios, and then we have to basically make a decision. I'm first this week, Ron, so I'll give you my first split decision. Which MLB player is more likely to get to 50 home runs first? Aaron Judge, who's currently at 34, or Shohei Ohtani, who's currently at 29?
Didn't I do this?
I don't think you did.
I think I did. But I'm going to say it's Judge.
So Judge needs 16.
Judge can just go on a tear for like a month, just putting it out into the stratosphere. He's a big man that all he needs is a piece of the ball. And I haven't seen anybody that can hit a ball like Judge since, back when, Juice helped McGuire.
There we go.
And all of those guys. And I do have to say, even though he's a Yankee, I do like Aaron Judge because he's got, and I say this a lot about Judge and Devers, like they're always out there smiling, having a good time. And I like players like that are having a good time and know they're making a fortune off of this game
Oh yeah.
that is just, you know, history filled with great players. And Aaron Judge to me is one of the best in a long time. I love his game, and I love the hustle in an Aaron Judge, and I just think he's just a beast of a hitter.
All right. All right. All right. Good one. All right. Your first split decision.
I also went baseball themed.
Who gets the 50? That would have been crazy.
Who gets the 51 home runs for?
Hey, say hey, Tani.
All right. No, okay. Which of the 3 second place teams in the National League have the best chance to win their division?
Okay.
Now, some of them aren't close, but you have Atlanta Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, and Arizona. Who has the best chance to come back and take that division? Do you want to know how far apart they are?
How far St. Louis? Because
St. Louis is 4.5.
Yeah, St. Louis is.
Arizona is 7, and Atlanta is 8.5.
I don't think Atlanta can. Philly's just playing such good baseball. And listen, as much as the Dodgers have had as many injuries as they've had, they continue to find ways to win for the most part. I could see St. Louis. That would probably be the only unstable one.
Because it's Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that doesn't scare you, right? Doesn't scare you. It's like, okay,
they're a good team. They're a very good team. Yeah, they're a very good team. But 4.5 too isn't a lot. That's his series.
Right. And
they play at weekend series, and that could be.
And Arizona is only 7 games back.
Isn't that crazy?
But it is LA, and it is Arizona. Let's be honest.
Arizona made it to the World Series, right? So,
I know they did, but
they're doing something right.
I don't think they're going to catch the Dodgers.
No, I agree with you.
Atlanta's got the skill level to do it, but I mean, you do need help from Philadelphia if they lose. I mean, if they keep winning, then you're not going to catch them. But I still like the Atlanta Braves out of the 3 teams, but not to catch up.
I don't think. Yeah,
I'm
more a mustard relish guy anyway. Ron, my second split decision, by the way, which Major League Baseball player is more likely to reach 300 home runs in their career first? 2 former Red Sox here. Kyle Schwarber, who's currently at 265, or Mookie Betts, who's currently at 262.
I'll take Mookie all day. Kyle Schwarber, I like him, to get some home runs, but when you're talking a big guy, it could go just like that. Like it can just
35, Ron. You're talking 35 home runs.
Yeah, but Mookie only needs 38.
But is Mookie still out? So would that hurt Mookie's chances?
But see, I feel like Mookie is going to last. Like Kyle Schwarber's career could end today. He could just lose it because of those big guys. I remember Cecil Fielder. And remember Prince Fielder, who disappeared faster than his father.
Yeah, he really did.
Like they lost it all of a sudden. They couldn't hit anything, and that was that. And
so what you're saying,
big guys have a problem with that.
You would go to Vegas and you would put bets on them.
I would, yes.
Okay. All right. I love it.
Hey, you've got some good ones today.
I'm on fire today.
Yes, you got 3 of them.
The braid's clear today, Ron. We're ready. All right. Your second split decision. Mookie Betts.
All right.
I like
All right. This one's going to keep you on your toes. You're on fire.
I'm actually sitting right now. So.
Okay. Is the NFL Flag Championships.
I'm not even answering this.
A desperate measure for the NFL as a potential move in case the physical nature of the NFL is eliminated by guidelines and regulations.
My brain hurts right now. Absolutely 100%, Ron. You are spot on that. At some point, it's going to be flag football.
Is this?
I don't understand it. I don't. And then they do it in the Pro Bowl now. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, this is why they created that, is because they want to legitimize the Pro Bowl flag football.
Flag football should be like guys like us who can't move or run or do anything else anymore.
And you
And we're
can't
like,
get tackled, so
yeah.
that way you're not going to get
yeah,
killed.
like I just don't, I don't know. But listen, I don't even, I saw it on today
Coming to
and
the
I said,
NFL.
I wasn't watching that. I said, absolutely not.
Coming to
There's
the
no
NFL
way.
soon.
There is no way, Ron. But that was a good one, man. I like that. That was a pretty good. Yeah, I am.
Funny, right?
Yeah,
But
I'm
think
throwing a
about
flag on
where
that
the
question.
NFL is moving. You can't touch anybody anymore.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse. I agree with you there, my friend. I agree. All right, let's talk some NHL guys that really hit each other. So should we start to have a concern that the Boston Bruins and Jeremy Swayman have not come to terms on a deal yet?
No, I think they probably already have a deal. It's already ready to go. And I think what's holding it up is if the Bruins can get another player, and they might have a deal with Swayman if you can take like maybe $500,000 less if they go out and get a certain player. And to me, I think that might be what they're waiting for, trying to get one more player on the wing, maybe, and and maybe Jeremy Swayman might give up like $500,000.
So here's my concern, Ron. There's like a bridge gap. Like I think it's a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
That he could sign now and then become an unrestricted free agent, which obviously then would really pay him if he became an open market and he was playing well.
Yep.
I think this sways him. See how he did that too? A little bit more if they sit back and wait. Like to me, this should have been a done deal. Look at 132 games so far for the Boston Bruins, 79, 35, 15, 12 shutouts, 2.34 goals against, a 919 save percentage. Right.
Yes,
the guy's legitimate.
Yeah.
Postseason, even with the struggles, 9 and 10, 2.38 goals against, a 922 save percentage.
Ridiculous numbers.
Right? Like we know this kid's a legitimate star.
Yeah.
If I'm Boston, lock him up. Don't give him an opportunity to start to think about, hey, maybe I do this bridge thing. Maybe
I think it's already done. I'm telling you, I think it's done.
So you think the team's wait? Does he take less money then?
Though that's the thing. I think if the Bruins can go out and get another winger, kind of to replace DeBrusque as a little insurance, maybe the guy that Carolina just let go, Kuznetsov, maybe a year, give him like $2 million, and then that means Swayman would have to take like a little bit less because they have like 1.75.
I thought he went back to Russia though.
He might have. I'm just saying, giving an example as a player like that.
Gotcha.
That you can get in there for $2 million. And I think it might have to do with that because they have to have just a couple of 100,000 here and there difference because maybe they want to sign Van Riemsdyk back for a little more money. I don't know. So I think that's what they're waiting for.
I'm a little hurt. Nothing with the Deborah Winger reference there.
The Deborah Winger?
Yeah. You said they need another winger. Deborah. Yes, Officer and a Gentleman. It was a great movie.
That was one of the best.
Great movie. Great movie. By the way, I went to see Bad Boys.
My grandmother wants to fly jets.
Bad Boys. I went to go see it. I thought it was pretty good.
It was so good.
Right?
I think it's one of the better movies of the year.
Yeah, I really did. And listen, all these old
Martin Lawrence,
Axel Foley. I thought they did a good job.
They did.
I'm getting a little nervous now because I'm seeing rumors Lethal Weapon 5.
Yes, and I think that is happening. And that is my favorite cop series.
It was very good.
I love those movies.
Do you not feel like we're getting to a point though? Like these guys are up there.
They are up there.
I don't know, but a lot of all these old movies coming back.
We're gonna find out what happened to Lorna. They have a little Martin Riggs running around now.
Yeah. All right, my friend, we're gonna move on to our pick and roll.
It's time for pick And roll.
Tonight's pick and roll. Let's do a little switcheroo again. Number 92's episode 29, Deal or No Deal, here in season 4. So we went and said, let's flip it again. 9-2. Some
Flip
great
it and
defense.
reverse it.
Huh?
Flip it and reverse it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, baby. We're on fire tonight. Listen, if you can't be entertained by this,
the best hip hop.
are you not entertained, Ron? Are you not entertained?
Missy Elliott.
I love it. Need a glass of water right now. See, Missy's. You probably just got a message right now from Missy.
That
like,
was
don't
right.
use my line.
That's it.
Don't use my line.
She got the shout out, and she just mentions, "Hey,
bang,
hey.
Missy Elliott." Oh my goodness. By the way, Eminem's album, phenomenal. NFL defensemen, great. Some defensemen from that one number 92: Reggie White, Michael Strahan, James Harrison.
Did you say NHL defenseman?
NFL. Did I say NHL?
I don't know if you did or not. I heard NHL.
NFL defenseman who wore number 92: Reggie White, Michael Strahan, James Harrison, Michael Dean Perry. Is it? He was William Perry's brother. Richard Seymour and Sean Ellis. We're going to rank them from 6 to 1. I am first this week, so I will start us off with my list. And I'll roll with it. So at 6, Sean Ellis played in 184 games, 411 tackles, 13 forced fumbles, 1 for a touchdown, 73.5 sacks. Not bad. 1 interception, 2 Pro Bowls, but that's it. Nothing else when it came to Sean Ellis. At 5, we're going to call a mini fridge Michael Dean Perry. Only 148 games in his career, which I ended up hurting him. He had some really good numbers. If he played probably another 40 to 50 games, his numbers would have been extraordinary because 534 tackles, 13 forced fumbles, 1 touchdown, 61 sacks, 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 1-time UPI Defensive Player of the Year and a champion. But I had him at 5. At 4, I really thought I was going to have this gentleman higher. I did not. Richard Seymour. Played in 164 games, 326 tackles, 4 forced fumbles, 1 touchdown, 57.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 7-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, a 3-time champion. But when you think about what New England was asking him to do, he wasn't going to put up numbers. So I think that kind of hurt him in his career totals. At 3, I went James Harrison. I used to love this guy, though. He was just a beast. 193 games, 583 tackles, 34 forced fumbles, 1 for a touchdown, 84.5 sacks, 8 interceptions. He had that big interception in the Super Bowl against Arizona where he brought it back like 99 yards. 5-time Pro Bowl, 2-time All-Pro, 1-time AP Defensive Player of the Year, 1-time PFWA Defensive Player of the Year, and a 2-time champion. I had James Harrison. At 2, Ron, Michael Strahan. Very quietly, great career, 216 games, 666 tackles. We call him the Omen, 666. 24 forced fumbles, 1 for a touchdown, 141.5 sacks, 4 interceptions, 2 of those for touchdowns, by the way. 7-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, 1-time AP Defensive Player of the Year, 1-time PFWA Defensive Player of the Year, and a 1-time champion. For some reason, I thought he was on that second Giants team, and he wasn't. And then at number 1,
his impact made such a big
on that 07
team. You just assume he played there.
Yeah, I thought that's the only way they won it because it wasn't Eli. Anyway, at number 1, Reggie White, the minister. I mean, this man's numbers just simply ridiculous, and we've had him on so many lists. I think he's number 1 every time. 232 games, 1,048 tackles in his career, 33 forced fumbles, 2 of those for touchdowns. Only 198 sacks. I mean, the man should have stuck around for 1 more year and got to 200. 3 interceptions, a 13-time Pro Bowler, 8-time All-Pro, 2-time AP Defensive Player of the Year, 3-time UPI Defensive Player of the Year, and a 1-time PFWA Defensive Player of the Year. Whatever they're doing, obviously they weren't paying attention. And a 1-time champion. Reggie White, my number 1.
It was pretty good. You missed something, though.
Uh-oh.
First of all, Sean Ellis. I have number 6. Those only 2 Pro Bowls is what really hurt, right? At number 5, I have Richard Seymour.
Ooh, see, and I was debating. Yeah, I thought the championships, I put him ahead.
No, that's not why. Because he only played 3 years of his career with the number 92, and that was with the Raiders. He played 93 with the Patriots his whole
All
career.
right.
So most of all that good stuff was with the Patriots. He did, however, have 2 Pro Bowls. Yeah. 2 Pro Bowls with the Raiders. So that to me was enough to put him ahead of Sean Ellis.
Okay.
Otherwise, he would have been number 6. But Sean Ellis just had the 2 Pro Bowls as well.
Interesting.
But Richard Seymour, I would have put number 4 if it was all number 92. So I would have had him right where you had him if it counted for me.
We really should have seen more of him in New England. I think that's right.
Yeah, but I mean, he did win 3 championships with New England. None
See
with
more
the
of
Raiders.
him? No, nothing. See more of him? No.
Yeah, no. I gave you the first 3. That's
Come on, that was a good one.
It was actually.
Go ahead. At number
So
4, then.
the rest of it, I pretty much saw the same way. Like Michael Dean Perry, I put at number 4 because of the Seymour only 3 seasons.
Yeah.
But he would have been behind Seymour, and then I had Harrison, Strahan, and of course Reggie White, number 1 by far. That was easy decision. I think the rest of them were all really clumped in there pretty well. But when you look at the list and you go right down the list, it seems like everybody was right in the right line.
Yeah.
Because 198 sacks, 141, 84, 61, 57. Sean Ellis had more than the other 2, but he didn't nearly have anything else.
Yeah. Yep. Less accolades. No, great. Listen, really good players.
Oh, absolutely.
And I didn't realize how good Michael Dean Perry was. I really didn't.
And
I
Sean
saw
Ellis did play 1 season for the Patriots.
I remember that. They kind of signed. Yeah. It was like this weird.
He won number 94 with the Patriots.
Who's the best 92 for New England? We got to check this out. Ted Washington. Was Ted Washington 92? I think he was.
I don't know.
All right. Well, we are on
All I
to
know is he was a big boy in that.
Ron, before we get on to our predictions, do you want to bring up the NHL nominees for the Hall of Fame? So if you are interested in voting for our next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame for our NHL, Georges Vezina, Patrick Roy, Roberto Luongo, Ed Belfour, or Hendrik Lundqvist, all phenomenal goaltenders. Let us know who you want to be the next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. All you got to do is go to the Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page and cast your vote. Again, these votes will be going on till the first week of August. So you still got some time to get your votes in. Let us know who you think should be in the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame.
So Atlanta area, look, if you want to vote, go to Facebook, look up Sports Unfolded polls, and get in there. Get in there. We want to hear from our Georgians. I mean, we know we have quite a few listeners out there every Saturday. You know, I just want to hear from you guys. I do. I want to hear.
You're listening to us. Let us hear you now. All right, Ron.
Oh, here's the.
Oh, and our current status for the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. All of the ones on the right have been inducted into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame.
Karen.
And then we also got on the left-hand side, all of the players that currently have not made it in. They will be eligible again next year to be nominated and then hopefully inducted into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. So many great players, though, already inducted. The biggest thing is this is by the fans. There is no politics. There is no writers. This is fans only voting these players in. Hence why you see a Pete Rose in there that may be questioned by some. Guess what? The fans said that's who they wanted. So, continue to help us, grow this Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Just simply join us at Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page and cast your votes. All right, Ron, we are going to talk some predictions. What a week last week for you. Another stinker.
You're right. I've been stinking it up.
3 and 4. Kenny, a perfect 6-0.
Yes, congratulations, Kenny, on that, because I don't think anybody's been perfect until now.
No, that's like the second or third time, but It doesn't happen very often. Really doesn't. And I don't think Kenny's ever been perfect. So that was good. James 5-2. I went 5-2 last week. Again, if you're joining us live, let us know what your picks are, and then we can get your name on our Sports Unfolded prediction chart as well. That's what I do. Okay, now all of a sudden, here we go. He's going 0 for 6 this week. Get ready. Guy's finally over 500. Now he's talking smack. All right, Ron. 7-19 starting tonight. 3-game series. The Boston Red Sox at the Los Angeles Dodgers, as well as Boston's playing. I think the Dodgers at home after the All-Star break are going to really start to try to turn it on. I went LA here.
Yeah, I went LA too. I'm not confident in the Red Sox. So first half is first half. Now let's see what they do coming out of the break.
Last season, they were over 500 in July, and then they kind of just fell off. So
yeah. They've gotten some great pitching unexpectedly.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
All right. On July 22nd, the series starts with the St. Louis Cardinals at the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is for second place in the division.
Yes, and I am going St. Louis in this. Look, I thought they've had a pretty good team over the last couple of years. When they made the playoffs and then they fire their manager, bringing in a new manager probably wasn't the smart thing to do, but maybe he's finally starting to figure things out in his second season, and I think they're having a pretty good year. And I think they're going to take Pittsburgh 2-1 on this.
Yeah, listen, what's it? Skrines?
Yeah.
I think the kid's amazing pitcher. But I agree with you. I think St. Louis is a little bit better right now. I went St. Louis as well, even though they're on the road. 7:20, Ron, WNBA action. Team USA versus the WNBA All-Stars. I think Team USA is going to want to prove something, especially since some of the players that are on the All-Star team are people that they didn't want on the Team USA team. So they're really going to want to, stick it to them. So I went Team USA.
Yeah, I think Team USA has a slightly better team, right? Now, they're both playing kind of fresh. Like they haven't had much practice time together, both teams, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going Team USA, but do not be surprised if Caitlin Clark just explodes.
She might need rest.
Yeah, but, she'll get some rest not doing the 3-point.
Okay. All right. I like it.
So,
all right.
So she'll have plenty of rest. But I wouldn't be surprised if she explodes for like 30.
Okay. All right.
She's going to rain 3-pointers in the game.
Interesting. Major League Soccer tomorrow, the Football Club of Cincinnati at the New York Red Bulls.
Yeah, I'm going Cincinnati in this. I think they're slightly a better team than New York, maybe a little more than slightly. But I like Cincinnati on the road.
Yeah, I went Red Bulls because I think they give you wins or wings, one of the two. So I'm going Red Bulls here. I think they're at home. I like their odds. And Kenny went New York as well. And I just said he's going 0 for 6, so I'm losing that one. All right. We also got some MLS action. The Los Angeles Football Club at the Seattle Sounders Football Club. Oh, this is my pick, right? I went LA. I went LA here.
Yeah, I like LA, but I'm going to go home team on this one, and I'm going to go Seattle.
All right. Seattle. I don't understand why they can't have team names like football. Can you give them a name? Football Club Cincinnati. Why can't it be like the Cincinnati, Bengalettes or whatever? Something.
Bengalettes.
I don't know. I got a little echo now. I can hear myself. I sound pretty good. Waiting for Kenny, yeah.
You're out of your mind. Out of your mind. But wasn't Seattle in like the championship game a couple of years ago?
They were. I think. I don't know though. But I mean, I like what do we have? Portland Timbers. Like they have a name. It was like when Washington was the Washington football team. We all hated it.
Well, that's why New England Revolution, right?
Right? Like it, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't come up with a name for Cincinnati something.
Well, their baseball
WKRP
team
Cincinnati
is
Elite.
Reds, and their football teams are Bengals. So what could they be?
The Red Bengals. WKRP. I don't know. Something in Cincinnati. No, I think Kenny fell asleep, by the way. So we're going to move on. We got some NASCAR, a Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis. We need a top 5 driver. Ron.
I'm going to go Martin Truex Jr.
Ooh, Martin Truex Jr.
For the win. He's going to come up big for me.
All right. I went Reddick. Pokey. JJ Reddick. He's going to jump in a car. Tyler Reddick.
Or is it Riddick from the Pitch Black?
Oh, was that Black? Yeah, what was those? Yeah, what were those?
Pitch Black was awesome.
Didn't they make another one?
Chronicles of Riddick was terrible.
Didn't they make like a 3rd or 4th one now?
Yeah, they were all
another
bad
one.
after Pitch Black. Pitch Black was awesome.
You know what I saw though during the preview? Aliens.
Yeah.
The 3rd of the prequels coming out in August. Looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, I'm loving all these prequel things.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, buddy? It's part of the. Yeah.
Oh, wait, watch. We're gonna have prequels of Beverly Hills Cop soon.
Yeah. What if we? What would be our prequel, Ron? What would it be? What would be Sports Unfolded prequel? What do you think? Have us in us meeting in the convenience store, right? And this whole thing. We could make this happen.
Wait, is that how it started?
That's how it started because we were so competitive, Ron. You don't remember. Wow. We were so competitive that we wanted to see whose draw was short the least.
That's right.
And we used to compete every single shift.
Everything.
And I normally won them. So, I mean.
Yeah, get out of here. You
every time.
Get out of here.
Every time. This is Sports Unfolded. We are a weekly sports podcast. We cover all of the top weekly sports stories going on in the world today.
Was it extra live?
We are fan. Yes, it was. Fan interactive. We love to chat with all our fans. So please join us every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We appreciate all the support we're getting out of Dallas, Georgia on WDJY. I don't even think they're around anymore. WDJY.
That's why I don't mind putting it.
99.1 FM in Dallas, Georgia. You guys have been amazing every Saturday, 1 to 3 p.m. Public access, Channel 12 in Southeast Connecticut, SEC TV. We are on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Check us out live Friday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So many different ways you can support our show. We have just joined Patreon. So if you're interested in Sports Unfolded merch, a lot of stuff going on. Mugs, stickers, pins. What else we got, Ron?
Yeah, so
mouse pads.
Yeah, coasters. We got shirts that are eventually coming. We have mugs, pens, pins, stickers, coasters. We got a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm telling you, you should just randomly share comments. You know, you never know. I might just say, "Oh, look, this guy just commented," and I might just send you something. You never know.
So we're everywhere. Hundreds of eyes and thousands of eyes on us,
by the way,
on us every single day. So let us know what you think. You can buy me a coffee as well. You can donate stars or bits. You can like us on all our social media platforms from Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe. We're on everything. X, Twitter, whatever. I don't even know what we call it anymore. The birdie. They don't have the bird anymore. That's right. It's just the X. It's just the X. Yeah. I don't know. Check us out though, man. Follow us. Let us know what you think of our content and even if we can do anything better.
And Instagram.
We're on everything. We are on everything. And we were in an extra month. That was pretty good. Ron, before we get into our final thoughts, can you tell all the wonderful people out there how we can grow even further by getting a sponsor for Sports Unfolded?
Yes, and you better act fast because We got word from the radio station WDJY that they're actively looking for sponsors for us already.
I can't say the
As of
exact
now.
words, but have you seen that TikTok where Samuel L. Jackson and he's pointing at his client? What was the movie? The Hitman. You know the movie I'm talking about? Him and Ryan Reynolds. Hitman something.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
Hitman
yeah.
wife. But he's like TikTok mother. That's right now.
Yeah.
If you want to be a sponsor, TikTok, because it's running. Time
Yeah.
is a coming where it's not going to be as great a deal as it is right now today. So become a sponsor, Sports Unfolded. Ron's going to tell you how.
Yeah, all you have to do, look, is just send us an email right there, ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. We can send you out all the information, but the information that you need to know, it costs less than going to your local coffee shop and getting that iced coffee. And you know how good that is at these hot days, right? And a double chocolate donut. Double chocolate. That means the chocolate.
We should
donut
probably lay
with
off the double chocolate
frosting. And I'll tell you, it costs less than that. So you want to jump on this now because once
you're getting name on a banner right above it.
Once that radio station gets us that sponsor, probably this month, and the ratings are that good. So, once that happens, all bets are off. But if you're already sponsoring, then we control that as well. So I would do it.
Become a sponsor, Sports Unfolded. Help us continue to grow.
And if not, throw the bits, throw the stars, subscribe, all of that stuff at Twitch. You got to get on that. Get on Twitch. RI__ broadcasting. Get on Twitch. Do like what Chakra does. Subscribes for like 13 months in a row already.
What is Kenny's emoji there?
I prefer bears, balloons.
I don't know what that
Are
is.
those olives?
I don't know.
I don't
Grapes?
know what that is.
Is that grapes?
Kenny, if you want, we can personalize some olives. Put the stamp
Sports
on the
Unfolded
olive
stamp
and
on
send
the
it to
olives.
you.
Put it in the martinis that he's usually drinking while he's watching the show.
Exactly.
Blueberries. Those are blueberries.
So blueberry yum yum, is that what you want?
That was a good song.
It's a great song.
Was that Ludacris?
Of course, it's Ludacris. Who else makes
Another
great songs like that?
I like the State Farm commercial. This is Ludacris.
Oh my God,
that is such a good one too.
It's so good. He's my favorite rapper.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's one of mine as well. Such a good
He's
artist.
funny. He's a funny guy.
James, I think I missed the show.
Yes, James.
James on the West Coast. Are you golfing out there, James? I'm hitting 18 tomorrow.
No, he's not on the West Coast. He's on the West Coast.
Well, James might be having a martini as well with some olives.
Yeah, he's already taken all those olives.
So you know what, James?
Shaken, not stirred.
West Coast. Yeah, we got you, buddy. We know what you meant. Checking out the talent, trying to pick up some talent for your Cowboys out there in the West Coast. All right, Ron. It is time
to get a uke.
I beautiful golfing. I can only imagine Oregon. Yeah, I'm stuck in Connecticut golfing.
Yeah, you better watch out for that volcano that's out like 300 miles away in the water.
Really?
Yeah, they're saying it could erupt in the next year, within a year.
Oh, James will be home by then.
Well, it could be tomorrow for all we know, and then tsunami comes.
No.
You gotta watch out. Pay attention to the
James,
news.
One of our number one supporters. You cannot do that to James. James, thank you for joining late. If
it happens, I'm blaming the four-letter word network.
And James, we also need to know who your top 5 or your starting 5 Georgia athletes were, because we did ours. Ty Cobb, number 1 for us, by the way, both of us. Ty Cobb. So let us know, James.
Because we have some time. Or not.
The volcano probably just went off. You just jinxed them.
I know, and I should know better because remember when the power went out?
Yeah, and what happens if bang power goes out? Why don't you say, hey, what if we had 5 million? What if we had 5 million subscribers? Then bang, 5 million subscribers. Ron, pick your words wisely.
Yes. I would love to have 5 million subscribers. Look, like I said, if all of Georgia decides to jump on this, I would be thrilled. And we love talking about the Atlanta Falcons, of course. Especially that
One
that
time.
loss. And of course, Atlanta Braves. We love the Atlanta Braves.
Todd
Gurley?
Gurley, we did not have on there.
Yeah, no, there's no reason to have him on there. If you're not having Jaylen Brown on the list, then you don't have Gurley.
Too.
Jaylen Brown, Anthony Edwards, both Georgians.
We had Theodore Flowers, a phenomenal middleweight, first black middleweight champion. I had
Walt Frazier,
Louise
Suggs,
the founder of the LPGA.
I had Dwight Howard and Johnny Mize.
Walt Frazier, Mel Blount, some great players. We also had some Ray Guy, honorable mention. I'm always going to mention my guy, Ray Guy.
I'll do
Johnny Mize, right? Bobby Jones, Bill Elliott.
There we go. How's that?
Ray Guy. All right, Ron. It is time for final thoughts. Our final thoughts don't necessarily have to be about anything sports related. It could be about anything going on in the world today. I am first today, and I only have one, Ron. I only have one.
Whoa.
Get your name right up there, by the way, for sponsors. Sad note. Joe Jellybean Bryant passed away, age of 69. Kobe Bryant's father. So you think about where Kobe Bryant, how he learned his game, what he meant to Kobe, because he kind of taught him. Like Kobe spoke Italian, because his dad brought him there playing basketball and all these things. And I thought about it this way, the two of them are up there right now, and they're having a pickup game and kind of just enjoying each other again, but still young, 69 as well. So Joe Jellybean Bryant passing away, another, athlete that we've just lost so far this season in Sports Unfolded. I mean, it's sad, but just brings back the memories of Kobe and Kobe's passing a few years ago.
Yeah, so. We didn't even get a chance to talk about Jacoby Jones.
Yes, and former Baltimore Raven wide receiver as well passed away.
Yeah.
I think 40, not even 40 years old.
Yeah.
It's insane. And our ending show where we always, it's going to be really a sad one again.
That's going to be rough, and I'm going to have to do it, on the other side with all the entertainment, and stuff. And it's been tough because I believe, didn't we just lose Bob Newhart?
Yes, a couple days ago. I think yesterday. As a matter of fact. And you talk about that dry comedy. He was that guy. Yeah. Like, it was just dry. His delivery, but the way he delivered it, it was always funny.
He was on TV for years with the Bob Newhart Show. Yeah. And then he had a new show called the Bob Newhart Show. And then he had another show called the Newhart Show.
Yeah.
So, and they were all the same.
Mm-hmm.
They were all the same, just different place.
Yeah.
And names. Although it was Bob Newhart. So not really changed.
Yeah.
But he was fantastic. He
was. He really was.
So, so look, my final thoughts was really, hey, next week, Olympics, right? And look, there's going to be, I know people get upset when somebody does terrible and they don't perform, but please remember, like, all these athletes are going there to try to win. And they're all great athletes, and somebody has to win and somebody has to lose and somebody even has to come in last place. Can we just show some decency, especially people that are going to be there, show some decency to those athletes that don't have big days, and winning gold, and instead of kind of like booing, and I don't want to hear boos. Because you should be proud of all these athletes as a whole, and I'm just excited and ready to go for the Olympics. Yeah. I mean, even the breaking, come on, breakdancing in the Olympics, and surfing. Hopefully there is not going to be a shark in sight. I mean, because that would be terrible. Terrible.
Although then Discovery Channel would be excited because I mean, like Shark Week, they could do a whole thing.
Right.
So it kind of
Right.
ties in. Now, listen, Ron, I had a great time tonight. I want to thank you for all you do for Sports Unfolded, all of our fans. So Kenny, James, thank you for joining us every single week. We appreciate all the support. Again, WDJY 99.1 FM in Dallas, Georgia. You guys have been amazing with the support. We appreciate the continued growth there. So love to hear from you. Chime in, let us know, comment on our show. Join us live every Friday night, 6 p.m. on Rhode Island Broadcasting. Also, cast your votes. We are currently about 2 weeks away from having a new nominee or inductee, into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. So those are going on currently on our Sports Unfolded Sports page. That is our NHL one, and we're going to bring up our Olympic gymnast one as well. So cast your vote. Let's get one of these athletes into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Looking forward to that the first week of August. A lot going on. We'll continue to go on. We're going to continue to do as much as we can. Here is our current inductees, as well as some athletes who haven't currently made it in. They'll be eligible. Crazy to think about. Michael Phelps, we're talking about Olympics, did not get in on the voting on the last time.
Attempt.
So right, so it's kind of crazy. So at Sports Unfolded Sports poll page on Facebook. Cast your votes. Let us know who you want to be the next inductee in the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Share this show. Share all our shows. Check us out on our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, MeWe, Patreon. We are on everything. There is nothing you can't find Sports Unfolded on. We usually come up first Sports Unfolded on Google searches now. So it's kind of crazy. We've gotten pretty big. So let us know what you think. Become a sponsor as well. We appreciate it. We get to do it all again Friday night, Ron, next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So join us then live. Make sure you join in on those chats. And all we ever ask for every single episode is that we get peace on earth.
Have a great night, everybody.